Okay guys, Kerry Duke here again. We are going to go to what I think is one of the most powerful plugins you can probably have for local marketing and attacking the long tail search. So here's what it is. Basically, we're going to go to my website. And this is the plumbing website that we've been working on, and right now I did some changes, so we have about 3,605 posts, and you can see that the last post I did was January 1st. You got to be thinking, well, how did he get a post on January 1st when we started building this thing, 2 weeks ago? Well, I'm going to show you. The secret plugin is SERP Shaker, and it's a really unique and powerful plugin. I've been using a version of this. Its first iteration was called Local Pages Ninja. Man, I love that plugin. I think I was one of the first guys that bought it, and immediately I broke it. It's like, what the crap? I'm making 5,000 pages, and it stops on me. And they had, at that point in time, they had no idea it could make 5,000 pages. Well, what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how I use it for local marketing, and how I can get tons and tons of search terms out there that, in and of themselves, they probably don't get a lot of traffic, but when you start having thousands and thousands of pages out there, you start getting traffic, you start getting phone calls, and you have no idea exactly where they're coming from, and you don't care. Alright, all we really care about is how quickly can we build this up and how many phone calls can we get, and that's what we're doing. So for this particular project, we're focusing on the Atlanta area and some cities that are south of Atlanta. We're not even trying to take over the entire metroplex yet. So what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through exactly how I build up pages and posts on this website and on my lead generation sites, and the process that I use and the thinking that I use, so that you can apply this to your own projects, whether it's affiliate marketing or local CPA. But this really works. And if you're going to go after the authority site, this is a great way to create an authority site really easily. These things will index, and you'll be able to get your My City guide working really well, or you can just go off to a service and do a lead gen page. Okay, all right. So here's what we do. The first thing I do is I go to Google AdWords, and I select my terms. So in this case, I want to get a bunch of terms for water heater, and then basically what I do is I grab all of them. It says here, add all 514. Yep, that's what I want to do. And then I go over here with that 514. I run them through Revenue Wire to change the case because I want them to look nice. And then I take that output and I put it into an Excel spreadsheet like this. So I have all 514 in here, and I've lined up the cities, the state, and the state abbreviation to match all those 514. Now, when I have that, what I do is I copy that, I go back over here to SERP Shakers, and take the shaker pages. I'm going to the short codes. Now, the short codes are what we use to put into the post or page that we're going to create. And basically, every time it makes a post, it's going to pull one of these terms up. So we're going to put these terms in for the short code. So in term 1 here, we have 300. I think my where I have this hosted at only likes about 300 of these at a time. There are ways you can increase the number of terms you can, or pages that you can build, or posts that you can make per run, but mine likes about 300 at a time. So we only have 300 of them in here. All right, now I think I've loaded that in correctly. Let me just do that again real quick. So we've got 300. Yes, we have 300. So let's go ahead and copy that and put them in just to make sure. So we have 300 of those. Okay. Now we want to make sure that wrong button. We want to make sure that our state and state abbreviation match that. So let's go to the city. Let's get the Atlanta 300. So let's grab 300 for Atlanta. 300. There it is. So let's grab 300 for Atlanta. Put those in and hit save. Let's go grab the states real quick. And as soon as we get this loaded, I will show you what the post actually looks like and how we drop these short codes in. Alright, so that's the state. Let's open it up. Alright, save that. Let's go and get the state abbreviation. And you can see it doesn't take very long to put all this together. And state abbreviation right there, state short. Okay, drop those in, save that. Now, and this is the process. I always build the short codes first, then we go to the dynamic short codes. And the dynamic short code is actually, let's go ahead and take a look at it. It's actually a paragraph that is spun. And when we look at this spun paragraph, what we're going to say when we build this is that every time a page is made, they're going to spin that paragraph so that we have some unique content. Now, a word about duplicate content. Each of these pages is basically going to have the same exact information on it, and I don't care. You hear a lot of verbiage out there from gurus and Matt Cutts and people like that saying, well, there's a duplicate content penalty, and there may be a duplicate content penalty for certain things, but I have not ever seen one in the local marketing realm, and so I don't really believe in this local or in this duplicate content penalty, especially the way that we're using this plugin to create these posts and pages. In my opinion, when we are putting a new search term in there, when we're putting new cities in there, we're getting a unique page, and beyond that, we're actually creating specific unique content for that local searcher. So for instance, in this case we're putting a page together for Atlanta, but we could just as easily be putting in one for one of the other three towns, Stockbridge, Decatur, McDonough, and I am doing that. And so if you're in Decatur, if you're in Decatur and you're searching for a water heater repair or plumbing repair, emergency plumbing service, whatever that case may be, you do not want to search Atlanta. You want somebody that's in Decatur. And so what we're doing by creating these posts and these pages is we're creating the right kind of content that somebody might type in, and because we've geotagged it with the city, our content is going to be more valuable with no backlinks. Pretty simple, right? And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create hundreds and hundreds and maybe thousands of these posts and pages so that when that person in that specific location is looking for that exact item, we are the best result that Google can provide, and that's why we will be at the top of the page, and that's why we'll get the phone calls for our clients and get that lead generation. Okay, so that's a little bit about my opinion on duplicate content and why I don't really worry about it. So we'll hit the create button there. You can see that it says spinnable. It's already ready to go. Then we go to the ad manager, and you say, well, why do we need the ad manager? Well, I'll tell you why. What we do with the ad manager and what I do with it, and this goes back to the over the shoulder series with Joe Morfolio, is you can put in, let's say that you don't have a place to send these calls yet, you don't want to do that just yet. what you can do is you can do one of those local CPA offers, and there are plenty of them out there. So there's the car insurance one, there's the home insurance one, there's all kinds of home services out there. You just have to look around to see what matches what you want to build, and then you can go, and you don't have to do it in advance. And that's the beauty of this. We can build this, and I don't believe I have anything in here. So we'll take a look at this add top. Basically what you do is you create a short code for your ad, and then later what you can do is you can come back in here, delete this one, and create another one that with the exact same name. So it's like add top, you create a new one with add top that has the content in it, and what will happen is, because that add things, that short code is exactly the same, it will place that ad content into those pages that have already been created. I know, it's like magic. So that you can put in your CPA ad, and then when you get to having a client for that page, you can take your CPA ad out, just like magic. One of the things I like to build in there also is this local ad, and what I can do there is inside of the content I can put a specific call to action for a client, and I can put it all the way across all these pages and posts that I build, and then should something happen, I can change that ad. I can change that call to action. So it makes it really easy to do a site-wide changeover if I change clients, and then I can use their images and their company name and logos and things like that, so it looks more like a real business as opposed to a straight lead gen page. All right. So I have all of these already built, and now we are ready to go to the Shaker pages. And this is where you build your post. Okay, it'd be just like going to posts and adding a new one, except you're going to do it in the Shaker area. And so here's the one we're going to work with. I'm going to edit that, and it'll come up here, and basically this is going to be the page that we work with. All right. You can see up here we're using a short code for city. We're using that term 1. Those are the search terms that we got from Google, and then we have the state short up here. I like this. I like to have both of these up here. Now one of the unique things is that this title is going to actually come in here and be the H1 tag for the page. So I like to have multiple titles up here, and right now one of the things I don't have, and maybe I should do, let's do that. Let's take this phone number and let's put it right here. Okay, and that will give us a phone number in the title as well. So let's edit that and put that there, and it should give us a an H1 tag with the phone number, and on a mobile phone that should also be clickable. Okay, so we have all of that. We got the city, search term, a phone number, search term, city, state short. We've got our ad short code here. We've built in our search term right here, so every page will get that same search term, city, the state, search term, and you can see we have these just interspersed throughout here. A call to action phone number right here at the top. Now this is our short code, that's our dynamic one that gives us the spun paragraph for each new one. This is where I will place a local ad at a later point in time. These two items here that are underlined, these are actually links to previous and next post. Okay, so we're interlinking all of these posts. It'll really help it get indexed a lot faster too. This link right here is actually for the content. Everything from this point below, the content, the text, is actually straight from a energy.gov high authority site. All right, it's the content is going to be exactly the same. I didn't alter it, I didn't spin it. It is exactly the same, and then we're linking back to that authority site, basically saying this is where we got it. I have an embedded video. I've got an embedded photo here that has all of our search terms in it, and then you can see the rest of the content. It's exactly the way it was on the .gov site. Another ad spot, another call to action. Keep going down. We have another. This is another local ad spot. This will be where we'll have a big call to action right here later. Phone number, at the bottom of the page. Another ad. This is the, if you want to do a CPA offer, AdSense, or whatever. And then down here, we actually can put a map code in. And what this actually does is it pulls in the city that we're using. So you remember the city code that we have at the top. This city code. All right, it will place that city code all the way back down here into this map, just giving a little, Google a little bit more comfort that this is about this spot. Okay, and then we have our description, and we can use our short codes in the description as well. First things first, we want a call to action, and then we want to list our cities. Okay, nothing fancy there. We have tags over here on the right, and basically these tags just come from the bottom of Google search. This is suggested search terms, and then over here we have categories, and we don't want our tags or our categories to have our city name in, because then once we build a page you'll get thousands of these tags, and we don't want that. Okay, all right, so a couple other features that are really good with this is that when you're building out a site and you're testing, you can run a test with just a couple of posts to see how it looks, make sure everything's working right, and you just build the pages and then you can delete them. So let's go ahead and build a page and test that theory out. And so what it'll do is it'll go ahead and build 5 posts real quick. I'm working on posts right now. You can see that up here in the output type. So it'll go out there, make 5 posts, and what we will do is we'll go over to, okay, it's done now. So let's go and take a look at our posts. We start out with 3605, and we should have 3610. Yes, all that works. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to take these out manually. If you're starting off from scratch, you can go ahead and delete everything with another button, but we're just going to do that manually since there's 5. Takes us back to 3605. We're going to go back over to our shaker page. Okay, the posts are gone. Now what we want to do, since we need to get rid of this, so what we're going to do is we're going to delete the trash, and it resets this so that we can take our short codes, all 300 of them, and just start building as if we didn't miss a step. Okay, so let's take that out, and now we're ready to build 300 posts starting now. It's 9:41. Let's see how long this will take. This process depends on how fast your server is. You need to make sure that you turn off, if you have a site map builder, you need to make sure you turn off that, because every time you make a post, it tries to go out and rebuild your site map. Well, I've got those turned off so that it's not trying to overtax the server, and it'll take a few minutes. So I'm going to pause it. It's 9:41, and we'll be back in a sec. Okay, it's 9:51, so about 10 minutes, and we have 300 new pages, and you can see them all sitting there. Let's go look at one. And there they are. Exactly what they will look like. We've got our tags up here. We've got our title with our phone number right there. Just exactly, this is our spun paragraph. All that looks familiar. You go down the bottom, there's our little map, and there's our tags. Okay, so we have a previous post, and if we go here to these little tags we talked about earlier, this one, this will take us to a different post. There it is. And if we go to the other one, it'll take us back. There we go. So basically, using the shaker, we can just create hundreds and hundreds of pages. It takes hardly any time whatsoever, I mean, it takes longer to get the search terms ready to go and made, you know, put into the shortcode than it does to actually make the pages. But we're all ready to go. And to do the next set, all we do is we grab the next 300, and I'll just go ahead and show you that. So we know we have 300 city and state abbreviations. So all we have to do now is grab the next 300, start here, go to 601, and we don't even have that many. Alright, so let's just go back up here. We'll have to edit all 4 of them again. I forgot how many we had. Okay, so we grab the next batch. We go over to the short codes, and let's do that over here. Let's grab the short codes. Because there's one trick I want to show you. We go in here to the short codes, and this was term. Drop those in real quick, hit save. Let's go grab our state. Let's get the city first. Let's grab the city and put those in. And the reason we want to do is we want to make sure we have the same amount in each batch. It lines up better that way, and things will work a little smoother. So let's grab the next one. This is the state, and put those in. And if you can hear my little dog in the back, it is time for his nightly howl. He's a beagle. Okay, put the state short in. Put those in like that, and we are ready to go. All right, so now let's go back over to this page. Now once we've done that, and all we have to do now is we have to hit this delete trash. There is no trash in there, but what it does is it resets this page and allows this blue button right here to start building pages instead of deleting pages. And as soon as it finishes loading, we are ready to go. Boom. And now we're on our way to building the other 251 pages. So it's just that simple. And once we do this, this is where, when we start looking at you know, how many pages we have out there and what's indexed and not. So we just site info there, and you can see we have 2,000 pages indexed. So it's, you know, it's roughly half of what we have out there, and these things will continue to you know, get indexed, and basically we really don't have to do anything, you know, because it starts crawling, and as soon as these are done loading, we're gonna do another trick. I want to show you one more thing, and so I'm going to pause this and I'll be right back. Okay, we've added a few more pages here. You can see I'm up to 4,778 posts, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the beautiful part about this SERP Shaker plugin, and that's the ability to change this publish date all the way through all of these posts. So it looks like we didn't just start this 2 weeks ago. We've been at this for, you know, a year and a half, 2 years. So let's go back over here to the Shaker pages, to the Shaker, and what we're going to do is we're going to change our start date. So instead of being 2 weeks ago, we're going to go all the way back to, say, November 15th of 2012, and if we wanted to, we could add new media before or after the content that we already have. So I mean, we really have a lot of maneuverability with this plugin. All we're going to do right now is we're going to change the date. We just hit submit, and it'll go through all of the posts that we have in our Shaker system, and it will change the date on those posts. And there, it's starting to work. And you can see all of those posts are being randomly sorted and the dates being changed all the way through. And it looks like it is already done. So here's what we do. Go back over here. Let's take a look at our post. Go to all posts. And now what we're going to see is the last one was done was 24 minutes ago, and then 1 hour ago, then 3 hours ago. And it's changing the order because we were working on Atlanta. Now we got North Decatur, and you can see it's all mixed up. And if we go up here, let's go to the back, page 239 of our 4,700 items. You can see our first publish was 11/18. We have 11/17. And I guess the very last one is going to be 11/15. So it looks like this site has been worked on for over a year and a half, almost 2 years. And so this gives the appearance of that we've been really after this for a long time. And when we need to index a few of these pages, we're going to build a site list. Let's go ahead and turn on our site list. And go to XML sitemaps, and somehow or another that got changed. Okay, so we're going to go install our plugins. I have an XML sitemap, a Google one I like, and we're going to activate that one. And we're going to activate the video one as well. And what this will do, this will help us get these things indexed. So let's go over here to the XML sitemap, and we want to ping Google with it. Alright, so it says it's been notified, but what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and notify them manually just to make sure that it's done. And it'll tell us that it's done it. It's a big sitemap, so it takes a little bit. Okay, so now that's been done. We can take a look at the sitemap, and you can see that we have 1,000 posts, and every single one of these things, or some odd number like that. And what I like to do is just randomly grab some of these URLs and just grab a whole handful of them. And what to do is I have to put these into an Excel spreadsheet. Let me just show you how I do that. I put them in like this, and then I change the row height so it's easier to see them all. Move it out like that. I grab, let's just make it a little wider. There we go. So I grab the first one, I come all the way down to the end of the list. I got 87 of them. Okay, so let's grab those. And this is not a next step, but I do like to do this. I have an account with vacation. Let's go ahead and log in, and let's create a new campaign. So we'll go ahead and put this in as plumbing crest, and then we drop our links in right here, just like that. 88 links. I'm going to drop these in over, let's say, the next 10 days, and I'll create a campaign. Boom. Now what will happen is those links will be dropped in and dripped over the next 10 days, somewhere between 8 and 10 links a day, inviting those Google bots to come in, take a look, and once they're there, they start pounding the crap out of your site. And I've had sites where I've done this and the bandwidth has run out because there's been so many bots coming to take a look at what's going on. But things get indexed really fast. We're only only sending 88 links out there to be indexed. We have over 4,700, 4,800, whatever the number is. And that's how we get these things indexed really fast, and that's how they get to ranking really fast. All right, so that's about it. Just wanted to introduce you to my process on how to use the Shaker plugin to really create a super fast authority site, and start taking control of your local marketplace for whatever service or whatever CPA offer or whatever lead gen project that you have. I highly recommend this, and I will have a link down there below for the resource on how to acquire this plugin. I've bought the vSilo plugin, the vCrackN, a lot of these other plugins, and I will tell you that this is every bit as powerful as those are for what we're doing for lead gen. Anyway, have any questions, just let me know. I'll be in the Facebook group.